We're in a really dangerous place, and we need radical, righteous, legal, peaceful, brave, courageous action every single day to stop it. And when I say every single day, I mean like today, yesterday. And that, my friends, brings me to Meidastouch. Now, why am I still talking about Meidastouch, and do I even really care about Meidastouch? I really don't. Like, I, for those of you that think like I'm personally hurt about leaving that network, it couldn't be further from the truth. I feel like a free bird. I even put a message out to Joy Reid. I said, when I left Meidastouch, I felt free to soar. And I think you're leaving MSNBC, you will feel the same. I decided to leave that network because they didn't want to talk about things that we needed to talk about. So I don't have any animosity or hurt feelings. That was my decision, and I feel beautiful about it. Why do I care about what they're doing? Same reason I care about what the Democrats in Congress are doing. It's because they have enormous, enormous influence. They have a platform that they could be using to help people to do and say what's needed right now. And they have a lot of people that count on them. They have a lot of people that give them money. They have a lot of people that think that they're just this independent bootstrap kind of operation, when they literally went into this venture, hardworking as they are, and they definitely are, as multimillionaires. So that's who Meidastouch is, just to, be clear about who they are. But they've gotten so much press over the past week because they succeeded Joe Rogan in the podcast charts, and they were on MSNBC, which is actually kind of ironic. Same week that, Joy Reid and Ayman Mohyeldin and Jonathan Capehart get kicked out of my MSNBC platforms, the three white brothers at Meidastouch. But anyway, listen. What got me is the headline that I saw for their segment on MSNBC, and it said, "We are fearless and independent," or "It's time for fearless reporting." It's time for fearless reporting. Okay, so if you've been watching Lights On, and you know why I left them to cover first the election anomalies, which is not a tinfoil hat issue, which is something that has been backed by election security experts, computer scientists, and data analysts, not a tinfoil hat conspiracy issue thing. When you know that that's why I left them, and when you know that they shut down the conversation about Section 3, to hear them say, "We're the home for fearless independent reporting," kind of hits a little different, right? And then I don't do it a lot, but I decided to look at some of their headlines over on the Meidastouch YouTube channel. And just a few of them. It says, "Time to panic, Donnie. Trump in panic as his term quickly collapses. Trump's worst nightmare. Trump goes psycho as MAGA turns against him. Trump headed for brutal ending at SCOTUS." And it kind of makes me sick, because they tried to frame what I was doing as either false hope or magical thinking. That was the really disgusting one, magical thinking from Michael Popak. And here you have Trump headed for brutal ending at SCOTUS. That's some pretty magical thinking. These Supreme Court justices are in his pocket. They put out a ruling that enables him to commit crimes while he's a president of the United States with immunity. He's not headed for a brutal ending at SCOTUS. Time to panic, Donnie? I mean, maybe time to panic if you guys get on our side and start reminding we the people of the power we have, but not time to panic because of some flub that you're going to put on a gotcha moment of a video. That is really, really false hope to your audience. But here's my challenge to Meidastouch. Because as Ben Meiselas said, when I first came on his podcast with his brothers, going on 3 years ago now, he was talking, about all the wonderful things I did as a pro se litigant against Trump. And he would often remind the viewers on Meidastouch that what I accomplished as a pro se litigant, many lawyers could not do. So there's a reminder for anybody who accuses me of being a wannabe lawyer or not a lawyer. I don't want to be a lawyer. I just love the law and think we need to use it. But at the end of that interview with Ben, he said something like, in the context of me having worked for Trump and then being on the right side, he said, it's never too late to do the right thing. Never too late to do the right thing. So here's my challenge for you, Meidastouch. It is never too late to do the right thing. I really do want you to be fearless and independent. I want you to meet the moment that we are facing. I want you to take that influence with your 4 million followers on YouTube alone, with all of those Patreon subscribers that give you that hardworking, hard-earned money to support, your multimillionaire venture. I want you to use that platform to really be fearless and independent and pro-Constitution. Oh, there's another thing that came out in the MSNBC interview. I'm like, wow, they're pro-Constitution now. Okay, great. Pro-Constitution. Okay, here's my challenge, Meidastouch. We need you to talk about the protests, and we need you to talk specifically about 314. Because like I said earlier, 314 has to be the date that we make history and change history. We can't afford to wait anymore. And by the way, this isn't my movement. This is the people's movement. I've just had the honor of organizing it. Just tell people to show up on 314 in Washington, D.C. Tell them to go to nowmarch.org. Tell them to join the veterans. We've got some amazing allies in the veteran community that are getting out to support this Constitution, this country on 314. So Meidastouch, talk about this movement to save our country on 314. Put it on the map. Use your influence for good. Don't just keep your viewers in a spinning wheel of, rage and outrage and keeping them coming back to you thinking that they're getting somewhere. Give them something to actually do and save this country. Be fearless. Be independent. Send your followers to Washington, D.C. on March 14th. So, you guys, I need you to go to the Meidastouch, wherever, videos, chats, whatever. I need you to flood their comments with Now DC, hashtag Now DC, nowmarch.org, 314. Don't leave them alone. If they're going to be out there with this massive platform claiming that they're pro-democracy and pro-Constitution, make them actually be that, because it's never too late, Ben Meiselas, to do the right thing.